Welcome back guys to our newest build series. Now, this car is very special and familiar to a lot of you, so please allow me to introduce our newest car, the W205 C63s AMG.
Alright, this car is a bit different to the last one that we had, obviously the 507. This is very different. This one's actually had a hit. So this bumper came, it was not even on the car, we've just put it here to make it look nice. It's pretty smashed up. The bonnet was pretty cooked, that's off the car already. That fender's been pulled out, so that's, as you can see, a bit of damage right there. And just a few radiators at the front here, the main rad, and that one's been pushed back a bit, but everything, the fan back, completely fine. And then also one of the intercoolers, specifically the right-hand side intercooler, is, yeah, it's actually bent along the top. So there's that. Then we also have inside, very nice interior, but unfortunately 2 bags have gone off, which isn't really that big of a deal. And then another pretty minor issue, if I'm honest, that we've noticed is the boot. Yeah. And then it also doesn't shut. Unless you slam it, then it shuts. But yeah, that's an issue with the boot. And other than that, pretty straight car. So this really won't be an issue. Thinking about getting a donor car for this one, that'd be the best outcome, save us a lot of money, get us all the parts we need. But yeah, this one's something special, man, especially that engine. 4-litre twin-turbo V8 AMG, something else. Now, as per usual, like with all the builds we do, one of the first things we always got to do is give it a clean. So let's do that now.
But before that, let me show you the website where we get all of our cars. As you can see, this car was found on Pickles, with some pretty good photos that showed us whether this car was worth it or not, and we decided in the end it was. We were lucky enough to pick up the car for a very cheap price on auction, so we knew that this car was going to end up as another very, very good deal. We gave it a good wash and were very excited, as this is one of the cars that we've both been dreaming of for a long time. Please also remember to like and subscribe to support the channel. We really appreciate any support and feedback from you guys, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. Then, Christian cut off the steering wheel airbag so we could have a better look around the interior of the car. Now it's time to get back to the car itself.
Alright guys, so let's go through a couple of the mods that the previous owner put on this car. So, this car is a 2016 AMG, which means it's the pre-facelift model. Now, because it's the pre-facelift model, they came with a different grille originally, which was not the Paramericana grille. However, this owner's put the Paramericana grille in all black on the front. He's also put a tasteful front lip on the front, which is unfortunately fake carbon fiber. Used to be a front lift, now it's crumbled, as you can see. Then further back, we can see that there are different rims from the flat face original AMG ones. Unfortunately, these ones are reps that they sell here locally in Perth, Australia, which are around about 1000 AUD. Which is not very good because they're not flow form, they're also not forged, they're just heavy normal wheels. I believe these are reps off one of the AMG SUVs. I believe it might be a GLE, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so it's off the SUVs. He's also upsized them to 20 inches and put very bad tires on them. So those will definitely be getting a change once this car's done. He also blacked out the badges here, which are no longer on the fender because they must have fell off in the rain or something. If you follow me back to the back, the final mods are just this carbon wing, which I'm not 100% sure if it's real carbon, to be honest. It seems pretty stiff, but I kind of like the look of it, to be honest, so we might just keep it on there. I also have reason to believe that this car is a night package because the exhaust tips on the back are actually black when from stock without the night package. They're supposed to be silver. Along with all the badges, they're also all black, and these trim pieces along the top of the door are also black. So that gives me reason to believe that this is a night package. There's also a diffuser that he put on the back. I believe it's an F1 style diffuser. We've looked under the car as well, and there doesn't seem to be any modifications to the exhaust. There's also none of the downpipe modifications that a lot of the owners use on these cars either, which is pretty fortunate for us because that'll be coming in a later video when we get this thing tuned. But yeah, as far as mods go, I'd say that's really about it for this car. It's full black and grey. So another reason this car looks a lot more aggressive than a typical AMG that you see out in the wild, and possibly also because of the black trim, is because all Australian delivered AMGs only came in AMG S's, which basically means that from stock there's different things like they come with the sport bucket seats, they come with, I believe, a different wheel, and I believe some of the trim can sometimes be different as well. It's really minuscule changes other than the bucket seats. The power as well. So stock, these cars are supposed to have around 475 horsepower, and because it's an AMG S, they're tuned up to 503 horsepower, which is only 4 less than the 507, which is a pretty close competition. We'll have to see in a future video who wins.
So this car, as of now, is a non-runner, so it won't start like our last car. Seems that all of our cars just don't start. Alright, so before we start ripping everything off, the most important thing, like with every car, you gotta make sure the engine works. So we're gonna try and start it. Hopefully it works.
Yep. Gonna give it a go to see if it starts. Hopefully it does. If not, then troubleshooting.
Not that much cooked.
Yeah.
Alright, so seems as if we're not going to be able to start this thing. Don't know why. Gonna have to figure that out. But we just took the hood off right now. So we got a lot, and we took off all the trim, all that stuff. So now you can see what we're doing. Now we're doing the fenders. And yeah, just gonna really have a good look at the cars, just get a good look at everything. And we need to really assess and find out what is wrong with this vehicle, because we still don't really know. There might be nothing wrong with it though, so let's hope so.
Praise the Lord. So unfortunately, guys, the car did not start. Now we thought originally that the reason it did not start was because of this right here, the pyro fuse. Now yes, it is blown, and we tried to bypass it by putting one alligator clip from a jumper cable on here and one on here. Now usually that would do the trick to bypass it, but because this is a Mercedes and you know it has to be difficult, has all these different electronics and things like that, because it's a Mercedes, we need to get an Autel tool, which is like the scanners that you plug into the OBD port, and we need to actually remove the crash detection from the car. Because when these cars crash, usually it's when 2 or more airbags have gone off, and you can obviously see that one there, one there. When these cars crash, it comes up with a crash detection that's in the ECU, which prevents the starter from spinning or anything from being initiated. So the next step in the process, I believe, is going to be clearing that code with the Autel tool, and then bypassing that pyro fuse, and then hopefully giving it another go. So yeah, let's give it a go.
Alrighty guys, so got the tool, Autel, big ups. We're gonna try and start this thing, because this is basically how these Mercedes work. Shout out to Matt Armstrong, we saw this on his video. Basically with this car, when it crashes, it goes into like a crash detection mode, so you need some sort of tool to code it to get that off in order to start it. So we're gonna do that. Then we bypass the pyro fuse, which actually isn't on the car anymore. And then we're chilling, so we're gonna do that now.
In the back, we've taken it apart, the pyro fuse. Because we're in Australia, we get this weird variant of pyro fuse. Obviously, this is not what it looks like normally. All the parts are just over there, all in bits. But if we wanted to order like one of the OEM ones using the part number, we can't. They have to actually release one from Germany, and by the end of it, it ends up costing $1,500, which is not worth it. So For now, we're just going to bypass it, and we already have a new other pyro fuse that we have to wire up on the way. And yeah, so let's just get to bypassing it.
205 sedan AMG C63s.
That is right.
Let's scan the car, see how many faults we get.
Yeah, let's see how many faults. Considering half the front end's unplugged. Oh my god, how many faults?
This car's cooked apparently. Even your head-up display's got a fault apparently.
Nice.
A lot of these is just not actual faults.
Sound receiver, signal receiver.
The camera's cooked. Your reverse camera's cooked. Everything on this car.
Reverse? My reverse camera's chilling.
Everything is. It's a lot of faults.
Alright guys, so after scanning it, it does actually come up with a crash event has occurred, which is what we were hoping for. So now we're going to clear it and then try and start the car.
Alright, just proceed, press the button. It wants to press yes. It's going to clear it.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for.
Alright, so value is active. This process can be started by pressing the start power disable. So it's active.
Yep.
We need to press F1. It's exactly the same as Matt Armstrong, so big ups to him. Press F1. The procedure was not completed successfully. Switch off ignition, then switch on back again. Is that what Matt had?
Yeah, he had to do this like 4 times before it decided it wanted to.
So, and eventually it says yes?
Yeah, not activated.
Not activated.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good then, right?
Okay, press F1.
There we go. We've unlocked the ECU.
Alright, yes, the ECU is now unlocked. The car should be authorized to start.
Alrighty. Wow.
So,
there you go.
Oh, I'm excited.
Alright, this should work.
You ready?
Yep, try. Oh my god.
And there we go, the car had started and seemed to be running fine, which was a great relief. Now it was time to further assess the damage and get to fixing the rest of the car. Alright guys, so now that we've taken a few things off, we can really get a good view of what is actually wrong with this thing. So, like I said before, we got the radiators here, the front one, obviously that's pretty stuffed. One behind it, also stuffed, so 2 rads. We got the intercooler, like the surrounding up here is bent there. You can see that it's not supposed to be like that. So we got that's the right hand side intercooler. We also have the bottom here. This part of the crash bar, it's like a support beam underneath. That is all crumpled, so that's not the best. Don't know if this is too important. It's a bit weird. The heat shield at the back is like crumpled weirdly. Had a look at a few images and it's not supposed to look like that. So don't really know what's happened here. Obviously both fenders, front bumper, hood latches, they're all stuffed, all bent, not looking good. But honestly, overall, not bad at all. This should not be too expensive and it shouldn't really take too long to get back on the road. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Now considering that the airbags had blown, we knew we had to change the airbag module. And since we didn't have any other parts for the car yet, we thought we may as well remove the module since there's not much else we can do yet.
Alright guys, so considering the outside of the car is all stripped and we're waiting for a donor, there's a couple things on the inside that we need to do. So the first one being the airbag and this bottom one, both of these. And then the second one, which we're gonna do now, is the airbag module. So when these cars are crashed, basically this module goes off, and the only way to get the car to detect that the airbags can go off is by getting a brand new one or getting it repaired. In this car, it's just down in there. So now I'm going to remove this thing. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first step in this process of getting to the airbag module, you get one of these, the trim pullers. You pop up this side down here, then this will come off. Then when these 2 sides are popped up, you press this button and then you have to pop the trim here and the whole piece should come off. Alright, so I managed to get that off. So now literally all that is left in this process, there's a screw there and a screw there. You undo that, I think it's a Torx T20, and once that comes out, it's literally just a case of pull up on this part here and this screen will slide out sort of, and yeah, then you can get to the airbag module, and I'll show you that when we get there. Alright, so I hope you guys can sort of see, but we've popped these two tabs up. So now there we go, it just slides out. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, there is no more center console. With these, because obviously nowadays new technology, there's literally plugs on everything. So obviously there's so many plugs unplugged, that one, and then this one was the biggest pain. Where is it? That one, you had to pull up instead of out like a normal plug. Anyway, so now that that's out, we're gonna get to getting the airbag module, which is, I don't know if you can see, but all the way in there, there's a yellow almost box looking thing, and then that's the airbag module. So yeah, we're gonna get to it. So to get to the airbag module in this, there is two screws. There's one there and one here, and that's to take out the CD player, so that down there, in there, we can get to the airbag module and unplug it. Alright guys, and as you can see, we've now pulled the this out, the CD player, and up and down. Now it's resting on here. And in there, as you can see, that yellow thing, that is the airbag module. So yeah, let's get to it, and I'll show you guys once it's out. Alright guys, so we got the airbag module out. It actually looks a lot smaller than I thought, but as you can see, these are the 3 mounting points. And how it works is, when a car blows the airbags, this module is essentially the thing that is responsible for blowing the airbags and saving someone's life. But unfortunately, once it goes off, it can't be recoded by a normal tool in the car to be back to normal. This module is essentially still reading that the airbags are blown, which means the car won't start and you'll get an error code in the ECU. So we have to get it sent off to a specialist to reset it so we can put it back in the car and the car won't read that the airbags are off. So yeah, let's get it sent off.
Alright guys, that's all we have for you right now on this build. We think it's going to be a great series and are very excited to continue with it. Now we just have to wait to get a donor car, but we may also be introducing another new build on the channel very soon. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing if you want to see more.